tithe of bones is upon us. Awaken, Ramthos, my liege Cavalos, for we have interlopers in our domain. An ORRUK megaboss known only as Hammer Thrower seeks to defile one of our bone-tithe nexi. Take your Petrifax elite and harvest his bones in the name of your supreme lord, Nagash.
We play and call it work. MiniWarGaming's Age of Sigmar Battle Report.
Knowing that I'd be up against Bonereapers, I decided that I wanted to try out a good, strong Ironjawz list. So I'm going to be bringing a big Waaagh allegiance ability for my army. This means that I don't get to choose a specific clan that they're from, but it still gives me the huge benefits of the allegiance ability, building up those Waaagh points to get the extra hits and wounds and charges and ignoring wounds. I have a funny feeling I'm going to need that to get through the Petrifax elite of the Bonereapers. My general will be none other than Hammer Thrower, the mighty orc of legend that strikes fear into Lukas everywhere. He will be riding his Maw Crusher into battle, and I've given him the command trait Brutish Cunning, which lets him use the Mighty Destroyer's command ability for free, because normally in the big Waaagh, you don't have access to this command ability. This is the one that lets a unit move, or fight if they're already in combat, or charge if they're close, even though it's in the hero phase. On top of that, the mount trait, I gave the extra damage to the fists of the mount, and he's got the artifact to give his main weapon -3 Rend to make up for that sick +1 save that this Bonereaper army has right across the board. He will be accompanied by his hype chorus. Normally he has one war chanter who follows him around just yelling, Hammer, Thrower, Hammer, Thrower, but this time he's brought his buddies. He's too good for one war chanter. He needs a chorus of war chanters, a choir of war chanters, an entire band of war chanters to help him out. Now, because this is the big Waaagh, not all of them get the extra beats. I did bring a WARSCROLL battalion, which we'll talk in a second, so I got to bring 2 beats. So I did the fix them and get them, because the one that gives them the +1 to hit is just unnecessary in big Waaagh. Furthermore, because I get the extra artifact, but war chanters don't have artifacts in my book, I'm from the realm of Byre, and I took the Thermal Rider cloak on the one of the get 'em beats so that he can fly an extra 4 inches and keep up with the Ard boys that he will be buffing. The rest of the army is a single Iron Fist WARSCROLL battalion. This battalion is pretty straightforward. It allows you to choose one Gorgrunta boss or Brute boss, and they get +2 wounds. And that big boss can use the Mighty Destroyer's command ability as well. It's also nice because it lets me have one large drop of pretty much all of my battle line. It will consist of 2 units of 3 Gorgruntas, and the 1 unit of Gorgruntas will have the Gorgrunta big boss with an extra 2 wounds who will be doing the Mighty Destroyers. And then we also have 4 units of Ard boys, 2 units of 15 and 2 of 5. I like the units of 15 because it allows me to have more hitting power without spending too much in points. And I like having a couple units of 5 who are able to run around and grab objectives or respond to threats.
Today's Bonereaper list consists of the Petrifax Elite. Now, I mentioned in the past that I probably won't play them anytime at all in the future, but you know, I gave myself 2 games, so here's my 3rd game as the Petrifax Elite. Changing up my list quite a bit for today's game. This is actually 1,950 points, so I will be getting a Triumph later on. The Petrifax Elite have a type of taboo to them. They are probably the strongest legion. As of right now, you know, people haven't figured out too much else with them. They're still pretty fresh. They represent a very elite force of auxiliary force to the Mortis Praetorians, which I usually like to play. Now, rules-wise, it's very basic. The army-wide rule is +1 to their saving throw, which is ridiculous, especially with some of the units I brought. Their command ability also gives them more rend when they get into combat, so it's +1 save, -1 rend. They complement each other quite well. It makes them very devastating in close combat. Leading my force, the Liege Cavalos Ramthos. He has recently risen by Nagash and the Boneshapers to defend a bone-tithe nexus somewhere in the realm of death from interlopers. He will be my general for today's game. He is going to have the command trait Mighty Archaeosian. This gives him 2 extra wounds. He's going to have 9 wounds for today's game. He's also going to have the Relic, the Godbone Armor, which means he can ignore the first wound he would take in every phase. Now, I'm playing against Ironjawz. There's only really one phase I'm going to be taking wounds in. It's still going to be useful. And I literally have no choice but to take it. Second in command, we have a BONESHAPER, a second leader. I feel like I should have a wizard playing a death army, plus, you know, limited models, so I will be bringing a BONESHAPER. His ability is quite useful to bring models back or heal wounds to units, I should say. The spell he took from the lore is going to be the Empowered Shields, which gives them a 5-up to ignore damage on top of their Deathless Warrior's ability, only if they have a shield on the like one of the actual shields on the units. Now for my battle line, only real option I have available to me are the MORTEK Guard. Don't actually have any of the cavalry. I prefer the Guard anyways. We have 2 squads with swords and 1 squad with spears, keeping it what you see is what you get. Moving on to the heavy hitters, we have Necropolis Stalkers. These guys are quite fast. They have a lot of potential and options when it comes to close combat because of their stances in close combat. It's just kind of getting there is the issue. Usually they can falter shooting. Now in this case, I'm playing against the Ironjawz specifically, so I don't see that being a problem. Their counterpart, the Immortis Guard, aren't quite as fast. They give up the offensive capability of the Stalkers for a more defensive nature. Now with the Petrifax Elite, they have a 2-up armor save. Trying to figure out if these guys are core to a Bonereaper army, we have the GOTHIZZAR Harvesters. They have the potential to heal a lot, assuming things die within 3 inches of them. Like instant healing we're talking here. Bringing my guys back from the dead, bringing wounds back to units, and doing an impressive amount of damage themselves. Brought 1 last time, was very effective, though once my opponent figured out what it did, killed it instantly, so redundancy is one of my favorite ways to play the game, so I brought 2. Lastly, the Endless Spell, the Shrieker. I've brought this every game I've played so far, just because it's so good. It's hard to pass up on this. It lowers my enemy unit's bravery by 1, but that's not the best part. What this also does is it gives all Bonereaper units attacking an enemy unit within 12 inches of this Endless Spell, overly complex, +1 to hit that enemy unit. And that sums up my Bonereaper list.
We're going to be playing Scorched Earth from General's Handbook 2019. This one has 8 objectives, 4 in each of the territories. At the end of each of your turns, they are worth 1 victory point each. But there's a twist. Starting in the second battle round, if you control an objective in your enemy's territory, you can choose instead to destroy it or raze it. And you get D3 victory points, and you remove the objective. Like watching these battle reports? Check out Matthew and Luka playing Cities of Sigmar versus Nighthaunt in the MiniWarGaming Vault. Click the link below for your free 7-day trial. For deployment, Luka won the roll-off, so got to choose a side, but thankfully I have way less drops than him. With my WARSCROLL battalion, I had way less, but even without that, I have 10 units and he has 11. This allowed me to, instead of dropping with the entire battalion to get to choose who goes first, I could place them one at a time, really capitalize on seeing where he's placing his units. In the end, I went for a pretty generic deployment of what I would do, thinking a little bit how he deployed, but more just wrapping my units in certain ways to protect them. In the center, of course, is Hemathroa, my mega boss on Maw Crusher, because of the command ability for the big Waaagh, which allows him to generate Waaagh points based on how many models are close by. So it was important for him to be in the center. I actually managed to get my entire army wholly within 18 inches of him, which isn't much of a surprise given how big he is. He's also got his boy band war chanter choir around him. I'll just do, yeah. And then sometimes they like do other kinds of dances or, you know, like flosses or whatever. But with like holding those bows, it's like, aha, Hemathroa, 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 Hemathroa. My 2 large units of Ard boys, the 15 ORRUK boy squads, are spanning out the front in front of that, using a piece of terrain to kind of shield my other flank. Their main job, I actually didn't put them as far forward as I can, knowing I was going to finish dropping first. I knew I wanted Luka to go first, even though in Scorched Earth, I want to get up there. I want to be able to advance with a full front, so it's important not to just send a few units up piecemeal, but to be cohesive. So they're just providing that shield wall to my more important units behind them. Given that I have 2 units of Gore-Gruntas, 1 will be on each flank. The one that's the big boss, of course, will be in the meat of the army, being ready to give his Mighty Destroyer command ability to one of the nearby units. And lastly, because I brought these min squads of Ard boys, their job is to grab objectives, so I strung them out so they could hold the 2 back objectives. Nice thing about letting Luka go first is that I do actually gain control of the objectives at the end of his turn, and so then I can leave. I don't get any points, of course, until the end of my turn. And he has no capabilities of deploying guys in the back of my lines or redeploying the back of my lines or summoning there. So I can leave them and not worry about him taking control of them unless he's managed to smash through my army, in which case I've probably already lost.
My deployment has no imagination at all. I'm trying to skew it into the nature of the scenario. So I split it into 2 different flanks, one on the left, one on the right, and even split down the center. My right flank will start there. It is symmetrical with my left flank, except that it has the 2 characters with it. I got my Immortis Guard, and I got my Necropolis Stalkers. Joining them is a GOTHIZZAR Harvester. I also have my Liege Cavalos and the BONESHAPER to support. I don't know why I'm supporting that flank, I just decided to put everything over there. Flying over to my left flank, you see a lot of the same units over there, minus the characters. I got my Harvester, I got my Immortis Guard, and my Stalkers. Much like what Matt did, I had a couple extra units that I didn't really have room to put down, and of course with Scorched Earth there are 4 objectives, quite a bit more than the usual scenario. I threw 2 squads of 10 MORTEK Guard in the back just to hold those objectives for the first turn. They will of course be moving forward aggressively to join the rest of the frontage.
I get to choose who goes first, Luka.
I'm not, yeah, and I already know what you're gonna pick.
Yeah, because I already said it.
Yeah, but I would have known anyways.
But I already said it. So,
Fair.
Luka, guess what?
Me. Wow, what a surprise.
Ossiarch
What a
Bonereapers!
surprise.
Woo!
It's gonna be me.
Yeah.
Those of you who are familiar, Bonereapers don't use command points. I have Relentless Discipline points. I get 1 for being Bonereapers, and I get 1 for every hero, plus 1d6 I roll for every unit I have. If I roll 6, I get another 1. So I'm going to be getting 4 because I have a Liege who gives me an additional 1 on top of being a hero. I know it's supposed to be quick and simple, but it's like 4 paragraphs of rules. And then I have my 11 dice here because I have 11 units, so I'm getting 4 base per turn, unless my heroes die, plus some dice. Trust me, guys, I'm going to get points. So I'm getting 4 base plus 1.
So 5. And they disappear at the end of the battle round?
Yes.
So it's not too big a deal that you don't generate tons right away.
BONESHAPER is going to go ahead and cast his Endless Spell, which is the Bone-TITHE Nexus. It is a -1 Bravery aura for enemies. I also get +1 to hit with my units if enemies are nearby it. 5 to cast. Good enough.
Just barely. I can't unbind, so you got it. Placed wholly within 12.
It can move up to 8, so I'm just going to go ahead, because I'm not going to put any models over here, I'm just going to put that over there instead.
Technically that's a terrain feature, so it can go there even though it looks wonky.
Now in the hero phase, the Bone-TITHE Nexus is going to unleash a Punishment of Agony. I choose a unit wholly within 18 on a 4 or more, -1 to hit until my next hero phase. 4 or more, please!
No siree!
Didn't work. It was free anyways. In my movement phase, my strategy here is pretty straightforward. I moved my entire frontage of my army forward, reformed to make a longer, maybe stronger line. Characters followed up right behind them. The Immortis Guard will be able to protect them if anything is able to sneak past and get to them. My MORTEK Guard in the back, moving them all forward, keeping them coherent of their Hecatos, but staying within 6 of the objectives just to tag them to my side. With no shooting, no charging, no fighting, and no battle shock to do, or to speak of, that's going to be the end of my turn, but I'm lined up in a way for Matt's forces to come crashing in like a wave, and honestly, we're just going to see who comes out on top in that regard.
You do have 4 of the objectives, though.
Yeah, that's going to be 4 victory points for me.
And I grabbed 4 of them as well. But no victory points for me yet. So 4-0.
Not yet, yeah.
Early lead for the
Yes!
Bonereapers.
What a strong start.
The big Waaagh generate Waaagh points. So Luka gets his special command points, while I get Waaagh points. And these Waaagh points, as I get more, unlock newer and newer abilities. So I actually like to play later into the game. So the first thing I have to do at the start of my hero phase is generate some of these Waaagh points. First off, my Mega Boss General will generate D6. Alright, good start. My 3 War Chanters, they're gonna do the floss all in unison and generate 2 more each, giving me 7 in total. So in hindsight, Gordrak would have been nice. He automatically generates 6 rather than D6, but we'll be fine. Hamathroa then climbs up on the top of his Maw Crusher, raises his 2 weapons high in the air, and he chants,
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
This is a command ability he uses at the beginning of the hero phase for every 10 ORRUK big Waaagh models wholly within 18 inches, he generates an extra Waaagh point. It so happens that my entire army is wholly within 18 inches, and there are 50 models. That was actually not planned, there was 50 models, so I get 5 more Waaagh points. This brings me to a total of 12, which I would have had with Gordrak, but hey, at least I've got 12 now. So this unlocks a few things. I ignore wounds on a 6+, I get +1 to charge. If he hurts me in a phase, and then at the end of that phase, there's no enemies within 9 inches, I can move D6. That's probably not going to come up, given the fact that we're going to be hurting each other in close combat. And it also unlocks a bit of a Waaagh magic thing that I will not use. Each of my War Chanters can choose a unit wholly within 15 to give them +1 damage till my next hero phase. This is a hard choice. I wish I had a 4th War Chanter. I'm going to give it to Ard... Yeah! I don't know! I think Ardboys, and my Mega Boss.
They're all +1 damage then, eh?
Yeah, on all their melee weapons. This is really hard because there's so much positioning that I'm trying to figure out with this huge BONE-TITHE Nexus. So I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna regret this, but I'm not gonna give the +1 damage to these Ardboys. Instead, I'm gonna use the War Chanter to give it to the Gorgruntas on the other flank. Next up in the hero phase, we're gonna be using our 2 free Mighty Destroyers to get some free movement in the hero phase. Definitely going to Mighty Destroyer onto this unit of Ardboys. This allows them to move because they're more than 12 inches away. I'm not going to run because I want them to be able to charge later on. There. And I will use my Mega Boss's Mighty Destroyer on this other unit of Ardboys. We're going to start kind of moving a little laterally, not too much though. Some hard choices for you to make. Obviously, I want to be in close combat, but obviously I also wish I had 24 Waaagh points to give everybody +1 hit, +1 wound. Duh. The plan, though, which actually was more complicated than it might look, I did a lot of pre-measuring to figure out what I want to place everybody. My general, Hammerthrower, is going to lead the first charge, leaping forward in between the BONE-TITHE Nexus and some of the terrain. We then have the 1 unit of Ardboys coming up with them, the ones that had already gone forward with Mighty Destroyer. They're going to get ready to crush into the 1 flag. Crush, I hope. The Ardboys on the other side will do the same thing. I'm worried about if they don't get a really good charge, that their frontage isn't going to be as good as I want. Kind of wish I gave the Gorgruntas more damage instead. And then the 3 War Chanters are going to all run, one of them with the Thermal Cloak able to get up nice and far, just to make sure they can continue providing their buffs later on. Next up, we had the Gorgruntas and the Ardboys behind all of this. They form up to get ready for a bit of a second wave. And then the Gorgruntas on the other side have moved up. I'm going to charge in, and I'll probably regret it afterwards, but the alternative is to stay back on my objective and have him come to me and crush through and take my objective, so that at least holds him back. And finally, the boys running forward to get ready on that next objective. In the shooting phase, I have 1 shot. I'm going to do an Innard Bursting Bellow at your MORTEK guard. D6 shots, 2s to hit, 3s to wound.
Never mind, I thought this was Ren 3.
That's -1.
4 up. Oh, I would have failed the 3 ups anyways. How much damage?
1.
Oh. 6 up with Deathless Warriors. We take 2. You die, and you die.
Hey, I killed something in the shooting phase. Into the charge phase. Are you ready for this, Luka?
I think so. I have no idea how this is going to go.
Well, my Mega Boss is going to charge first. I get a +1 charge because of my Waaagh points, and I've got 9. And he comes forward.
Crunch.
And crunch. When he charges, he can choose a unit within 1 inch and possibly do some mortal wounds. I'm going to choose the MORTEK guard. Yeah, MORTEK guard. 5 up. Oh, there's only 2 anyways.
Woo! Deathless Warriors.
6
saves. None. Close though. Losing 2 more will take you and you.
Ardboys will charge. They'll get a +3 to their charge because of the drum and my allegiance ability. Go on in, boys. 7 inches. That is sufficient.
Welcome to the fight.
They are in. We're going to back up, and Ardboys on this side are going to charge. Also with the +3. Could really use a high number here for them. Thank you.
Hey,
12
there you
inches.
go.
12 inches.
So kind of them.
That way, I can maximize the frontage
And support the...
and support my make sure you don't get too many models around my big guy. Boy.
1 giant line of yellow.
And lastly, the Gorgruntas, +1 charge. So, and in we go. And they do mortal wounds possibly too.
Oh, hey, nice.
2 of them got within 1 inch, so we can try to do some mortal wounds. 4 pluses. Whoa, look at that.
Is that 2?
2. Well,
Deathless Warriors, because they are Hecatos units. We ignore 1.
you made 1.
I'm not liking how I deployed my units here after I moved them, so because I usually put the wounds on the special weapon first. So we're gonna put the wounds on. Ah man, I guess on this guy over here.
Now I actually gained a few Waaagh points from this charge. I get a point for every unit of 10 or more who charge, so that's 2 points. And at the start of the combat phase, I get a point for every unit of 10 or more and every hero within 3 inches of enemies, which is 3 more, bringing me to a total of 17, which unlocks the next ability of +1 to hit to all of my melee weapons.
Sounds ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's almost as ridiculous as an army-wide +1.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, I don't know. Is it ridiculous? Let's find out. Also, at the start of the combat phase for my Bone Reapers, I have a lot of abilities to use. I have to do my stances for my Stalkers. These ones here, they're kind of surrounded. It looks like they're going to get beat up on. I'm going to do Parry Stance, where they get to reroll their saving throws. Whereas these Stalkers seem a little bit better off, I'm going to go with Precision Strikes. That is +1 rend and +1 damage on all their weapons. I will use one of my Relentless Discipline points to put these MORTEK Guard on Shield Wall, where they get to reroll their saving throws, putting me down 4. Now, my Liege Cavaliers here does have Endless Duty, but I'm going to wait to see how much damage my units take before I use it, because you don't have to use that one at the start. Something interesting to note.
A hard choice for what to go first, because I want all my guys to go first. Kind of wishing they had the Ironjawz Allegiance ability, which let them just keep fighting as long as they killed stuff. But we're going to start with my Mega Boss, because Hamathroa isn't going to wait. He's going to put his attacks, I think, everything into your
Immortis Guard.
Immortis Guard, which might be overkill. Starting with none other than Hamathroa. He's got 8 attacks hitting on 2s because of the Allegiance ability. Oh, dude, come on!
No rerolls?
No. 3s to wound?
Oh no!
3 of them.
That's going to be Rend 3 because of his Relic. Putting me to a 5-up save because they have a 2-up as the Petrifax Elite.
Oh, good.
Well, the Rend 3 wouldn't really matter all that much. That's 9 damage, eh?
Yeah.
Well, here's my 6-up Deathless Warriors. I will then make 0 of those. So
Oh no!
that's 9 wounds on the 12 wound unit.
And now for the Maw Crusher's attacks. 2s to hit. A little 3s to wound.
Rend 2 putting me to 4-up.
They're 4 damage apiece, baby.
8. Yeah, that unit's dead.
Oh yeah, the unit's gone.
Rip. That's all the attacks, I guess.
Yeah, that's all I got. Oh boy. So it wasn't overkill to focus on them, but yeah, it was good.
These Necropolis Stalkers will elect to fight next. We're going to use Endless Duty from the Liege Cavaliers on them, giving them extra attack. I don't actually really need the extra Rend, so I'm just going to hold off on that. We're going to spend 1 more Discipline point on Bludgeon as well, just to make sure the Ironjawz over here, the Ard Boys, get 0 save from the majority of their attacks. Okay, so we're going to start with the Dread Falchions, the big weapon. Not a huge fan of these, but I get the extra attack for the Endless Duty. We got 1 hit. I do hate hitting on 4s, so 3 to wound. We're done with that one. Regular attacks, hitting on 3s, no re-rolling. I should note, the Ironjawz here are within 12 of the Shrieker, so I would get +1 to hit. That means one of the Falchions would have hit. Well, one of them missed. So there's only actually 2 more hits here with the swords. 3s to wound still. Because these are -3, there's no armor save, but that's 12 damage right there. And the one Falchion that should have hit does wound as well for a further 3 damage.
Allegiance ability, I just ignore these on 6s.
Oh.
One of them. Then I've only got 6 shields to ignore these with, so I can only roll these 12 at a time. If they're rolling enough 6s, I can keep going. Yeah, I got 2 6s, so I can roll the other 2, and 1 more, so I ignore 3 of those. So we've got 5.5 of the shield bears are dead. My selection, I am going to choose this long unit of Ard Boys. So I have 3 Ard Boys into your guard.
Stalkers. Sorry.
Stalkers, sorry. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into your guard. And then I have 4 into your MORTEK guard. So start with the MORTEK. Also hitting on 2s.
Ooh, the Waaagh. That, big deal.
Yeah.
Huge.
3s to wounds.
So this is against the MORTEK guard. They have a 3-up save right now, but with the Rend, 4-up. And they have Shield Wall, so they get to reroll.
Oh, they did activate that?
It's 2 damage, ignoring on 6s. I lose 2 models. I guess.
4-up rerolls are pretty hot. Into your Immortis guard, who will probably not die at all. 2s to hit.
Some 1s.
3s to wound. Oh, that wasn't horrible.
My 2-up goes to a 3-up. No rerolling. I fail 2.
That's 4 damage. No 6s.
6s? None.
Oh!
You just take 1 down.
I kill one.
That's a big deal coming up as well. I would have liked to keep 1 there. I'm gonna go with losing you.
And then 3 into your other Stalker unit. 2s to hit. 3s to wound. 4.
Now these ones are pairing, so I have a 4-up save now. Rerollable, it's a good thing.
Okay, yeah.
So 2 damage. And say, we take 1. Down to 2 wounds remaining. And I want to note, the guy that died over there was more than 3 away, so I couldn't heal. We're going to go ahead and fight with these Necropolis Stalkers.
All into the Gorgruntas?
We're going to put everything in the Gorgruntas. We'll spend a point on the Petrifax Elite Command ability Bludgeon to give them an additional Rend as well. 3s to hit with their basic weapons. We're not near the Shrieker. Oh, it would have been nice though. 3s to wound.
Ooh. Rend is -2 because of your extra command ability use, so I've got a 6-up save. And then you're ignoring damage, or sorry, it's just 1 damage, right? Which I ignore in 6s. Oh, 4 wounds.
And the falchions hitting on 4s. 1. 3
do
to,
it.
3 to wound? Yeah! That's Ren 4. 3. Ren 3.
2 damage. I gotta roll double 6 to keep a guy alive, because only one of them has 1 wound left. Nope, not even. The one will die on the end, and then he'll injure the next one. So nobody died within 3 inches of your guy.
I was going to say, yeah, make sure you don't pull anyone from him if you don't need to.
We'll then swing back, way to the other side, and I will fight with these Ard boys. The only choice is with my boss here, but I think I want to focus on the stalkers. Like, I'd love to kill this, but because of this piece of terrain, it stopped me from piling in a couple more guys. And so I'll put 4 on him and 4 with the leader on the stalkers. Go against the stalkers first, hitting on 2s. Golly with the 1s. 3s to wound.
4 up save after the rend.
Oh, 2
triple
damage
1.
each.
6 to ignore. Well, it's going to be 2. It
Kills 1 though.
kills 1 though. And goodbye, Dread Falchions.
And then into your harvester, 2s to hit. Hey, no 1s, yay. 3s to wound. Oh, and I can't kill him. I was like, if I rolled really well, I could kill him.
4 up after the rend, making 3.
Ooh, never mind. 2 damage.
6 to ignore. 1
damage.
damage.
9 wounds left.
Well, that's pretty much it for Matt's attacks I'm concerned about. He's got the Gore Grunters up next, so I'm just going to attack with the rest of my guys, starting with my Harvester into the Ard Boys. Oh yeah, this is the one with the size. I'm going to attack with the size. I get to +1 to hit with the size if I'm attacking a unit of 5 or more models. In this case, yes. Unfortunately, that model, or that unit that I'm targeting, is also within range of the Shrieker, so it kind of is pointless. 2s with his hands. We got 1 miss. 3s to wound.
Oh!
-2.
Oh, 2 damage each. 6 up saves. I made 2. Oh.
Oh man, I should have bludgeoned.
Then I ignore them on 6s thanks to my allegiance ability. So 2 more.
Woo!
And then I've got some shields to ignore them too on 6s. Okay, no.
Now with his hooves and his tail, he's got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s normally, but +1 for the endless spell. We have 1 miss. 2s to wound because he's not hurt.
-1, so 5 up. Nothing. 2 damage each. 6 up to ignore. Ignore 1. 6s to ignore with my shields. 2 more, so 3 damage. 7 wounds total were inflicted.
So
we're
that
gonna
one's
lose.
that one there was probably gonna be within 3, unless you want to pull another one.
Well, I have to take the shields.
Yeah. I guess
So-
the only other shields over here.
Yeah, my
There.
shields are all close to you, so that's, whatever. Oh, wait. No, he'll be out of coherence if I pull him. So I've got to start pulling over here. So,
That's
so
one
two,
guy.
There's 2 guys.
Oh, I can.
3.
Nice. And then the extra wound will go on that shield there. Now 2 models die within 3, so I get to Bone Harvest on 4 ups.
Oh!
Those ones. Okay, never mind. No Bone Harvesting.
My choice next, my 2 Gore Gruntas who charged are going to fight your, don't tell me. It's not the guard, it's the stalkers!
Necropolis Stalkers.
Woo! Start with their Jagged Gore Choppas hitting on 2s. And because they charge, wound on 2s. Oh!
-1 puts me to a 4-up armor, but we're impaired.
Yep, never mind. And then the pigs themselves,
Piggies!
they'll be hitting on 2s because of the charge and allegiance ability. And then they'll be wounding on 3s because of the charge. That's bad.
No rend on that one, so 3-up armor.
Oh, how embarrassing.
That's kind of sucky. And parry. Okay, we take 1 damage. So 1 damage. Because of the parry, I'd make a lot. And then I take 1. I'm down to 1. So it would have been great if I could have harvested. Now I can resolve the rest of my attacks. We're going to move on to the Immortis Guard attacking the Ard Boys. 2 attacks each with their Black Halberds, hitting on 2s because of the endless spell. 3s to wound. We got 3.
6 up save because you're -2. Ooh. 2 damage each, so 6s to ignore just for my allegiance. 1. And because I don't want to break coherency, I've only got 1 point of shields left. So 6 plus, no, so 5 wounds inflicted. And I kill him, I'll stay in coherency because this guy was there.
Yeah, there was
but
an
the
engine
other
shield.
shield, unfortunately, the way it got piled in is if I killed him, I would be basically killing 3 other models. So I'll kill 2 of my banners on the other side. But
Stay
I got
away
3
from
of
my
them.
harvester.
Yeah.
Do we Bone Harvest on a 4? Today, yes. The only thing we can heal right now is this guy here. It goes up
1 wound?
Just 1 wound. Because there's only a 2-wound model. Now bashing with the shields, hitting on 3s because we have +1 to hit. We have 1 mortal wound, but that will be in addition. 3s to wound, no rend. We got 1.
4 up save. Not saved. With the mortal wound, 6s to ignore. No, 2. I'll kill a drummer.
Goodbye, drama. MORTEK Guard are going to go ahead and pile in and fight. You'll go there. Actually, you're just going to stay there. You're already within range to fight. You're going to go there, and you're unfortunate. Oh, it's the Hecatos, though. Ah, whatever. He's going to have to keep coherency. I mean, I guess I could have done that. I don't know why I didn't do that.
Yeah, coherency.
It's coherency. I was thinking about doing it. I'm like, oh, it doesn't work. That's illegal. No, that is literally how it works. So 2 and 2. Into Hamathroa, 2s to hit. All hit. 4s to wound.
-1 rend, so 4-up save on Hammer. Oh! 1 damage each, which I ignore on 6s. Oh, golly.
Another banner bearer. 2s to hit. 4 to wound. 1.
4-up save. Alright.
Now the very different, very powerful Soul Cleaver Great Blade. 2s to hit. 3s to wound. That's the difference.
Oh, very powerful.
Yep, the power. And by the way, I rolled a 6 to hit. That does not count as a Nadirite weapon, so no extra attack there. I'm going to go with the Liege Cavalos, piling in directly forward. Commander's Blade at 2s to hit. 3s to wound. All 3, -1. Look at both of our armies hit on 2s.
4 is up.
2 damage.
I ignored on 6s. Wow.
1 damage. 1 attack with his Nadirite Battle Shield. Oh, I hit. Do I wound though? No! Now for the actual mount, which is kind of scary. 2s to hit because of the Endless Spell. 3s to wound.
-1, so 4 up.
Oh, maybe 3?
Ignored on 6s. Well, 2 still. That's 3 total, bringing me down to 10 wounds. I will get 1 back because I killed a model, but still, that's a lot of damage.
Last thing is my Harvester into the Ard Boys. His Bludgeon's hitting on 2s. It's going to be 6 mortal wounds right there. And that attack sequence ends. 3s to wound. They all wound.
6-up saves? Ah!
Oh, no!
6 up to ignore these army-wide.
Not bad.
We got 2. And 1 shield left to ignore on a 6+. No.
Does he only have 1 wound?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So my shield bearer dies. 3 other guys die. 1, 2, 3. And then I take a wound. I'll put it over on a non. Oh, wait. That's all near him. Can he heal himself?
Yes. He can only heal 1 wound.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Heal.
That's needed a single 4 for that Bone Harvest on himself. He does heal himself to 1.
I think if I had wounded him more, I'd be more concerned.
Right, that's why I was upset that I lost one of the Stalkers there, because that heal would have been a little more beneficial on them if they had 1 wound left. 4 attacks with his tail and hooves. 2s to hit because of the spell. 2s to wound. Only 2.
-1 rend, so 5 up.
Nothing.
6 up to ignore. 3 wounds. That'll kill 2 more. 1, 2.
And with that, that's going to end my combat. Though I realized I had 1 more discipline point left. I probably should have used it on him. That's okay. You know what? Just
Did lots of damage anyways.
It's just I did well anyways, and it's just going to go away.
Battle shock phase. Got some important decisions to make. Both my unit Ard boys have lost enough to worry about it. These ones have lost enough to lose everybody, and the Ard boys have over here have lost enough to lose D6. Because I don't know who's going to go next, I am going to spend my last command point on Inspiring Presence on these 4. Not because they're going to stand there and kill everything, but because if Luka goes next, which is more likely, I don't want him pushing through to my objective. Which leaves me with this squad. So they lost 7, and their bravery right now is effectively 7, +2 from the banner, and -1 from his spell. Just don't roll high, Matthew. Nice and low. 2. I'll take it.
Not bad.
And I'm going to kill them away from your bone collector, because these count as slain, which means you could actually collect their bones. And Luka, now it's your turn for Battle Shock.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess we're done. Because the Bone Reapers have an army-wide rule that they just ignore it.
Yeah,
they automatically
that's great.
pass all Battle Shock
Very
checks.
good, that's great.
I think an oversight.
No, yeah.
Maybe not the best idea, but you sure.
Luka, you ready?
This
So
is-
you win ties.
This is a big dictator.
It is. Now, in this case, because we're close combat armies, it's not as big a deal. But I would really appreciate the double turn right now, so you can't just crush right through me with all your and heal guys on top of that.
I only get a little bit of healing. I'm going to roll a 3.
Okay, so I have to roll a 4+.
Reasonable.
So you take, well, it's 50-50. It's not reasonable. It's just average.
Oh, no, it's even worse than this.
Oh, it's a 3. No. So who are you gonna pick to go next, Luka?
I will go ahead and elect to go next and keep the normal turn order. You know, the proper way to play. I'm at 4 points right now, so the idea is to break through Matthew's line of Ironjawz and just maybe snag 1 of his objectives if possible. Now for my discipline points, I get an automatic 4 still for all my heroes, and I get to roll 10 dice, not 11, because I lost a unit of guard. And we're gonna get much better than
3 6s.
So we have 7. My hero phase, the Boneshaper here, is going to Bone Shape. I choose a unit within 6 inches, and I heal 3 wounds or bring back 3 models equal to the wounds that I can heal. So I'm going to bring back 3 MORTEK guard. 3. I'm just going to go here and surround this guy, this hammer thrower. Want to note that I didn't move the Soul Shrieker or the Shrieker because I didn't want to. It's happy. I'm happy.
It's already. It pretty much covers my whole army except the Gore-Grunt is on this side.
I'm going to go ahead and cast a spell with the Boneshaper. This one's going to be Reinforced Battle Shields. I choose a unit within 24 inches, and they have a further 5 up to ignore damage.
Jeez.
This goes off on a 6, but I get -1 to my roll for the Souling spell, so I fail.
That didn't matter.
The Nexus is going to throw out a Punishment of Agony. This is the one where I choose a unit within 18, wholly within 18, and they're -1 to hit. On a 4 or more, of course, that's another one.
Another one.
Now for movement, pretty basic. The guys stuck in combat are staying stuck in combat, but my MORTEK guard in the back are going to move forward. This squad will use Unstoppable Advance to move a little bit further forward. 7-inch move now. These MORTEK guard will run an extra 2. Though they will get +1 because of their banner. GOTHIZZAR Harvester is going to shoot into the Ard Boys with his 2s to hit because of the Endless Spell. Mattered. 3s to wound. Oh.
-1 rend, 5 up. And I got it.
This Harvester is going to fire those Ard Boys. 2s to hit because of the spell. And 3s to wound. We got 3.
Hey, more effective.
Better.
5 up! Oh, I made 2 of them. And 6 to ignore. Nope. We'll injure the one on the end.
MORTEK guard are going to declare a charge now. They get +1 for their Necrophoros, which is their banner. 8 will get them in.
Just.
Now for my stances, the Stalkers here are going to parry, just because I don't think I need this overkill if I go into precision.
So reroll saves.
Now these ones are going to go with precision strikes, I think. Yeah, we're going to go precision strikes, +1 rend, +1 damage on their attacks. Now for shield walls, MORTEK guard and MORTEK guard will both shield wall.
So reroll saves. That costs you your relentless command points.
Supposed to be down to 4 now. It took me a while to decide this. I'm going to go with these MORTEK guard next. I can't get anyone extra in attacking, but I'm getting 5 models attacking, which is more than I'd get from the second squad. We're going to spend a point on Endless Duty from the Liege Cavalos, giving them a further attack, as well as Bludgeon from the Petrifax Elite to give them more rend. 2s to hit. Now I got 4 6s, which are Nadirite weapons, so 4 extra hits. 4s to wound.
7 wounds in total, -2 rend. 5 up save. Yikes!
Oh!
It's not going to kill him or anything, but you're really going to bracket him. Now I do ignore wounds on 6s, which, nothing. Wow.
That was a huge hit.
Yeah, I'm down to 5 wounds. So obviously he has to go next before you kill him.
That BATTLELINE unit.
Yeah, he seriously. Well, it did cost you 2 of your relentless command points, which, is not that big deal. Really not sure how to keep my Mega Boss alive. I've got 3 potential threats to him, as they can be a threat if he first kills the Ard Boys with his monster thing there, which actually should be able to do it just fine. And then the MORTEK guard have proven to be quite powerful, even if only a couple of them get in there. And then, of course, his Liege Cavalos, or whatever it's called, has enough hitting power to finish off 5 wounds as well. And so I've got a 2-inch range with his main weapon, which he has an extra attack on because I killed something last round. So going after them is a feasibility, but then it leaves too much here. And a 2-up save on him means I need to put my rend -3 into him to take him down because he's got 2 extra wounds as well. So like math hammering it out, nothing is actually looking like fantastic choices. And in the end, realizing how good his save is, the fact that he ignores the first wound and he also ignores wounds on a 6, I'm going to take the Mega Boss's attacks and put it onto the Stalkers and the Maw Crusher's 5 attacks because he's hurt into the MORTEK guard that have not yet fought. And this all assumes that I roll average. If I roll above average, great. If I roll below average, so into the Stalkers, I'm hitting them on 2s. Well, so far so good. But then the 3s to wound because I haven't got my Waaagh points up high enough yet. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I
There's
said
your
5. I said 5 through.
6-up armor save because the rend 3.
6-up
Reroll
save, yeah.
for parry.
Don't get any. Oh, okay.
None.
They're probably dead, so that's 15. 6 up to ignore.
Ooh,
Get to roll a lot of
rip.
six. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they're
they're
dead.
gone.
Well then, I got nothing to heal.
Other reason I didn't want to attack him is because if I didn't kill him, then as you kill models here, you could just heal him. My Maw Crusher's fists and tail. He's only got 5 attacks because you've injured him, but he hits on 2 still because of my allegiance ability. Not they all hit.
Oh.
3s to wound on these as well. Ooh, 4 of them.
Okay.
-2 rend, but 4 damage.
I'm hoping I made a difference. So
5 up?
So 5 up.
But reroll because of
yeah.
shield wall.
Shield wall, come on. Nice!
Oh, you
That
had
shield
to.
wall was
You
big.
get
Oh.
I think that's probably what average because you failed so horribly in the first one.
Yeah.
Now that's still 4 damage because of the fists. 6 to ignore.
Oh, what am I? Oh, it's 4. Okay, that's right. I lose 4 guys.
Well, not as effective as I wanted. Would have mattered if Battle Shock was a thing, but it is not.
The GOTHIZZAR Harvester in the middle is going to try and cleave up some boys. Attacking with his sickles, we hit on 2s because of them and the Endless Spell. The 6s don't matter, sadly. 3s to wound.
Oh,
Okay, well that's a super good roll.
Oh, rend -2, 2 damage, 6 up.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
I
pretty
can't complain about 2 6s. 6 wounds in total, which I ignore on 6s, thanks to my Allegiance ability. My Allegiance ability. Okay, I rolled pretty well. So 4 so far.
His tail and hooves. 2s to hit. 2s to wound. He's not wounded.
-1 rend, so 5 up. Oh, good.
Not
2
bad.
damage. 6s to ignore. No. Don't want to let you heal. You did 6 wounds in total, but I don't really have much choice. So 1, 2, sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 2 guys that could heal.
Bone Harvest. We heal 1 wound.
Hard choices for me. Gore Grunt is over here. We'll try to kill 1 of your stalkers. If I kill 2 or 3, yay. But I'm really just trying to kill the 1. Start with the Gore Hackas hitting on 2s.
I just love hitting on 2s. It's hilarious.
Everybody's
It's
hitting on
just
2s.
literally our both armies.
3s to wound, because I did not charge. Yikes, 3 of them. Only -1.
Back to their 4 up, which they fail 1.
1 damage with the ignore on a 6.
Hecatos. That's a 3.
Yeah, not likely gonna kill him. I gotta do 2 more wounds. We got the mounts, so they're 3s to hit with the Allegiance ability. 4s to wound. I could kill you. No rend.
3 up.
Oh,
1
1 gets through for 6 up to. Oh, you even ignored it. You didn't have to ignore it, man. You're about to heal them all.
I know.
Woo! Down to 2. Yeah! All those attacks and
Woo!
1 damage.
This Gothizzzar Harvester is going to try and pummel these remaining Ard boys.
I don't think he's gonna have to try.
His little big metal hands hitting on 2s.
Oh, the 6s do mortal wounds.
That's 4 more wounds in it. Not in addition, but instead of.
3s to wound.
2.
-2. Ah! 6 up save. Oh! Double dancing Matthews! 4 mortal wounds though. 6s to ignore those. All right, well I can't complain.
Tail and hooves on 2s. 2s.
Just throw some 1s, man.
Yeah,
Yay!
I threw some 1s.
Only -1, so 5 up save. Oh, 2 damage though. 6 to ignore. Nope, 6 damage in total. So they all die except for the boss. And now my 3 guys get to go up against your 2 up save. Stupid guard. 2s to hit. 3s to wound. Oh, okay, 4 wounds. -1s, you get a 3 up. They're 2 damage. Oh, come on. 6s to ignore.
Oh!
Double
no.
taco
I can't even heal them.
You can't even. Oh.
Leech Cavalos is going to pile in to make room for more of them to pile in. Starting with his Commander Blade hitting on 2s for the Endless Spell. Thank you.
That 2s.
3s to wound.
Oh. I can't complain about the 2s
I
because
know,
my
I
army
know.
is all doing on 2s.
I know.
4 up saves against this rend -1. Come on, buddy. Oh, come on. It's a 4 up save. It's not a 5 up. How much damage each?
2.
Yeah, so he's going to die.
You just got 5 wounds left.
Yeah, you still have more attacks, buddy. 6s to.
Oh, he only
okay.
takes 2. There you go.
2. If I'm going to complain, I'm going to complain. He's down to 3 wounds, and then you have your bestial mount.
2s to hit with the mount.
Naturally.
3s to wound, though. Only 2.
I get a
Rend 1.
4 up. 2!
It's going to be the shield. Maybe.
6 up.
Oh, no.
What does it matter? You got the Mortek guard about to come in and just slaughter him.
My 1 shield attack, it
No,
hits.
oh, it's a +1.
And it wounds.
3 up save! Yay! Now the Mortek guard get to come in. Are you going to give him +1 attack, +1 rend?
See, I don't know if I should give the plus. I kind of want to save my points for your turn coming up.
Why? I'll have nothing left. Well, that's not totally true.
It's not totally true.
But it's mainly true.
I'm going to pile them in.
Oh, wait a second. I still have a boss over there. He's fighting your harvest.
Oh, yeah, we should probably resolve him.
Yeah. I forgot about him. I've got 4 attacks, 2s to hit. Hey. 3s to wound.
4 up.
That is 2 of them, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I was zoning. Nope.
2 damage. 6s to ignore. Are you close enough to actually ignore?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he's like right there.
He's still alive. Now you're Mortek guard. So are you going to buff him? Or are you going to save the points for my turn?
No, I think I need to guarantee kill him. He's the most important thing to kill. Do you lose anything if he dies? Minus less wall points?
I get less wall points.
You can still call the big wall, right?
Yeah,
So-
I lose. I can't do big wall.
Yeah.
My wall ability without a general.
General has to be on the table for that one. Okay,
Yeah, he's
so I'm
about
gonna
to not be on the table.
I will bludgeon and I will endless duty them.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna start the piling process.
I think you're gonna get 5 of them in. Given how far away they are.
2s to hit with the Naderite weapons. 6s are extra.
Oh, 6s are extra. Makes up for those 2 1s.
4s to wound.
Oh, so dead. 7 wounds at -2. So we got a 5 up save. Well, he's okay. That's 4 damage. He's got 2 wounds left. So right now I got to roll 3 6s. Yeah, no, he's dead.
MORTEK guard.
Brutal.
They did so much damage to him.
MORTEK guard, OP.
My MORTIS guard are going to go next into the yard, boys. Hitting on 2s with their
Special
halberds.
weapon. This is a special weapon or non-special weapon?
They don't have special weapons.
They're only,
3s to wound.
so I got a 6-up save.
Dread halberds.
And they're probably what, 2 damage each?
You got it.
6s to ignore. Hey, 1 wound left. Yeah, that's 5. They're dead.
There's only 1 within range for the Bone Harvest. It doesn't work. Necropolis Stalkers. We're going to... I'm not going to... Yeah, I'll pile in a little bit. Why not? What up? Hitting on 4s. I probably should have moved the Shrieker. It doesn't matter. I'll just roll hot. 3s to wound. Those are -3... 4... No, they're
minus
2
3.
base.
So it just ignores my armor. And they're 2 damage each? Or 3
Up
damage
to
each?
3 now because
you
of
get
the...
+1. So 2 of those got through?
Yes.
So 6 damage. Ignoring 6s. Oh, that's 5 wounds. Kills the one, hurts the next.
Attacks with the remaining blades. 3s to hit.
Oh, look at all those ones.
3s to wound.
Yikes.
What is going on?
I got a 6-up save against these. They only get the extra rend.
They get the red and end damage, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 damage each.
That's 8 damage right there.
I need 5 6s. Yeah, not 1. Goodbye.
And then Petrifax Elite.
Yeah. So the question, if you ever had a question, if you ever had a burning desire written in your diary at home saying, you know what, diary, dear diary, I've always wondered, if you put a line of Petrifax Elite Ossiarch Bonereapers and you sent a big Waaagh of a very beefy Ironjawz list, all with +1 damage and +1 hit, do you think they would hold? The diary would just say, heck yes.
And I like the way it looks. I like the fact that I got a solid line going, but there's one Ard boy that stands alone.
Yeah, no, and he might even run.
I'm
but,
sure he could maybe run.
But at this point, I am going to shake your hand, Luka.
Oh!
Hold on, not yet, not yet. Because I know I get to go next, but I've got nothing left. I could buff this unit, Ard boys. They could charge in. I'll kill a guy or 2, maybe. I can buff the Gorgruntus. They can come up and then kill a bunch of your MORTEK guard.
I got no
maybe.
I have no discipline points.
Oh no, you mean you're just 3-up saves without rerolls and 6s to ignore it?
Look, I said a while ago I'm probably never going to play the Petrifax
No.
Elite.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want everybody to understand something. I told Luka to do this.
Right.
Because when you said, well, I'm not going to play the most powerful Bonereapers, and I'm like, oh, but I built an Ironjawz list, a big Waaagh list, assuming you were. So we wanted to see this.
Yeah.
So all of this is tongue-in-cheek. Like, of course I'm complaining. But really, we're both hitting on 2s. And everything. Anyway, we'll talk about this in the post-game show. Either way, at this point, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to say, good game, Luka. And I'm going to give up at the middle of turn 2. Although a lot happened here. So we're going to go over and do our post-game show, and we'll talk more in depth about our thoughts of these armies. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the next battle report between Matthew and Luka in the MiniWarGaming Vault. They will be playing Cities of Sigmar versus Night Haunt. If you are not a Vault member, you can still click the link below to get a free 7-day trial. Vault members are what drive MiniWarGaming, so consider joining to support us and making even more miniature wargaming videos for you. Now, even though you heard me complaining the whole way through,
It wasn't actual complaining, right?
no, it was actual complaining.
Oh, was
It was more a commentating. Oh yeah, that's actually complaining. I'm like, you know what is really cool about the big Waaagh? I get a +1 to hit, and I have a little extra movement, and eventually I get a +1 to wound, and I ignore wounds on a 6. And then you're like, you know what I do? I ignore wounds on a 6. I throw a spell in the middle of the table, so now I get +1 to hit.
30-point spell.
30-point spell.
Cost 5 to cast.
Yeah. And you only rolled a 5. You barely earned that. And you're like, oh, and by the way, everybody's going to get an extra rend and an extra save. And I'm going to re-roll most of my saves. It's just like, so you got the one army that hits hard, and then the other army that's resilient, and the other army also hits hard. And, the Ironjawz are totally resilient.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I've never seen an army do that much rend.
That's, it's the Petrifax Elite that specifically, because they have Bludgeon as their ability.
The thing that...
But they usually have rend across the board, as just the normal Bonereaper army. You're right.
Yeah.
Everything's got
everything is -1 rend.
At least they have -1 rend.
That is very powerful. Now, if the points showed that would make sense. I think the beef I have, a little Matthew rant right here, not just because I lost, but because looking at the rules, the Bonereapers already have some rules that I don't really like. I love your special command point thing.
That's my biggest attraction to them as well.
Super cool. It's kind of like the Caradron Overlords. They have their Ether Gold for extra triumphs. You've
I
got
forgot my triumph.
Zinches.
I always forget about the triumph. I had it, whatever, it doesn't matter.
What would it have been? Reroll saves?
It would have been reroll wounds or something.
No, because you have to roll this.
Oh, it would have been maybe. Well, if I got reroll saves, I've been good on the Immortis card.
Who cares?
Ooh, rerollable saves.
Yeah, screw that. Anyways, you got the Caradron Overlords with their Ether Gold. You got Zinch with Fate with their Destiny points. You've got like Corns and other things that they can build up their summoning points. And then you got the Bonereapers with this really cool thing, but then they throw in something like Ignore Battle Shock. And I don't care what you might say, well, it makes sense that they wouldn't run. This Battle Shock's not about running, it's about being overrun. So it's not just things running away, it's also things crumbling or things dying because you did so well against them. Kind of like the old fantasy overrun. You know, did you make them run? It is a combination, not just of what you killed.
It's a combination of crumble and running, right? That's
Exactly.
the new Battle Shock.
That's just it. And then to throw in, because I love the idea of the different legions, but when you have one of them, +1 save army-wide, because when you read the fluff of it, because we read the lore of it, because I was preparing the narrative, and it's like it's all about big monsters.
It makes it seem like it's the GOTHIZZAR Harvesters and probably the Hecatos guys.
That they give no bonuses to them.
No, it just your
Why would you write the lore to say this legion is all about the big monsters, and it talks about resilience too, and then we're just going to give +1 save to the entire army rather than if it was +1 save to the Harvesters,
right?
And I don't know what else.
I got to imagine they're probably the bigger constructs in general, so like the catapult.
Yeah, maybe.
The catapult, the
But
Harvester.
giving a catapult +1 save is not a big deal.
That's not a big deal, right?
Because if you're at the catapult, you're behind the lines, so whatever. No. The Harvester's getting +1. I don't know. Maybe some other stuff too. Maybe like the big MORTEK guard. Not the MORTEK guard.
The Necropolis Stalkers and the Immortis guard.
No, I actually mean the bigger ones.
There's a bigger one.
The Morghast.
Oh, the Morgan. I forgot about them.
Yeah, maybe
because they're old, right? They're the older. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, because on top of that, I think the thing we really didn't factor in when we were talking about that is that the command ability of +1 rend.
Yeah, bludgeon, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just on an army that already has a lot of rend, just the fact that I'm a 4-up army or 4-up armor save or 4-up save army across the board, and I was making 6s pretty much the whole time. That's huge. You're just ignoring one of my
to take away
strengths.
your one of your major strengths.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you're up against an army that's 5-up or 6-up save, then that's not as big a deal because you're already pretty much ignoring it, and they're already built in to have more guys to make up for the fact that their save is so bad for how many points they have. Whereas the Ard boys are there in fewer numbers because they have a good save, and so when you just ignore that aspect, it really chews through them. Now, having said that, I actually, in the future, not anytime soon, want to play against the Petrifax Elite again.
A completely different idea, like a theory of a list, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
you don't want to fight them. You said that.
I think their biggest weakness would be their mobility. Not that they don't have any, but like for example,
They're on the lower spectrum, I'd say, of all the armies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so bringing something with more mobility, whether it's just something that can summon in, or teleport, or even Caradron Overlords. I know you did the matchup with them and beat them, but I think that there's probably ways to play them with the right scenarios. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of the talking here, as usual. What are your thoughts on everything you saw? Your side, my side?
Well, my funniest thing I liked about that game is this is probably one of the only games I played in a long time where the scenario didn't actually matter. We played a Warhammer Fantasy Battle game, essentially.
We met in the middle.
We had our Battle for the Past set up. We crashed in the middle. We just ground down until there was nothing left. Well, yeah, until there was nothing left. And there was very close to a moment where you could have burned one of my objectives, but we were tied on models. It was turn 1. Other than that, though, I was surprised to see how much damage that the stupid Maw Crusher Mega Boss did. I hate that model. Hate that model.
Because it's Hamathroa?
Because it's Hamathroa. I've always hated it. I've had bad when I used to play Corky a lot, he'd always just double up on them. It would be Gordrak and that guy, and just walking through me. I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to bring lists like Nagash accompanied with Morghast and Legion of Nagash just to keep up with it. And they just have a bad taste. You know what I mean? So I'm always happy to see it die, and I'm every time the MORTEK guard kills something that I don't think they should kill, I'm always surprised. But looking at how they actually operate, it makes sense that they have a lot of attacks, they have good rend, and it makes sense they'd kill stuff.
Yeah. I think their points cost is not proportionate to
like they should. Like, what would you put them at then? They're 13 points a model.
Here's the thing. Okay, so let's just do some fun math, like points balancing. So the best thing to do is try to find something similar, right? They've got 10 wounds and a 4-up save.
Yeah.
Forget the +1 save. 10 wounds and a 4-up save. What else has 10 wounds and a 4-up save?
Ard Boys.
Ard Boys.
Stormcast Eternal Liberators.
Liberators.
Sequitors.
So Liberators are 100 points. Ard Boys are 90
Oh, wow.
for that same 10 wounds.
That's true. They're at 90 now. Man, they went
Yeah,
down.
they're good. See, this is the thing. The list I brought would
super scary.
normally be a cheesy list, but I knew I was going against an army that was top tier, and so I needed to do that. That's what you do, right? You try to match.
Yeah, you try to
tiers.
bring
And I
them to the
still
same
think,
level.
honestly, there's probably some tactical errors I did there too, in just seeing how everything went. I'm glad I chose to go second because we both, assuming we both rolled that 3 for the who goes next, you would have got the double turn. Because you would have won, or no, I wouldn't have got the double turn. So I guess that's okay too.
Yeah.
I was thinking of going first, just building up my wall points and then not moving, and then he moves up, and then I go second, get my max wall points, charge on in, get the +1 attack, and the +1 to wound, and just crush rate 3, which in hindsight might have worked better. But also I think choosing to engage your whole front line.
Yeah, because my first turn move was spread my line super thin, like from table side to table
But
side.
the terrain, because we use a lot of it,
Yeah.
limited by options.
Especially with the big guy.
Yeah, but yeah, he's that much plus of power. Like I was able to, because you lined up, I was able to get my full lineup. But because of the way Age of Sigmar works, you're going back and forth with combat. That if I played them as Ironjawz, it'd be a little different because then when I killed that first unit, I could have immediately chosen something else.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't have my +1 to hit, and eventually wouldn't have my +1 to wound. That big Waaagh just really buffs up the guys so well.
That took me forever to decide to attack with a Hecatos Guard into the big guy. That turn 2, I think I spent probably 5 to 10 minutes just sitting there looking at my,
I gotta kill
line.
him. I gotta kill him.
It's like in my head I'm like, okay, I got to attack him. I got to lower him to enough wounds to make you want to attack with him next. And if failing that, at least knock down one of his mount's punching attacks.
The 4 damage ones.
Try to
you're currently
mitigate-
double buffed.
Try to mitigate as much as I could, and I knew you were going to attack my Necropolis Stalkers with actual Mega War Boss on top, Hamathroa.
It's that -3, that artifact that I gave him, the -3 rend.
It's
That was the one saving grace
critical.
of my army.
Yeah.
Was to be able to be like, you know what, that unit, please remove it.
I had great fear of him, and I put parry stance on the other guys, knowing I had a 6-up save. But I'm like, maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll spike a couple 6s unnecessarily.
You totally could.
It didn't
And
work.
like
out
you said,
for-
you didn't need the extra hitting power. Like you got me down to a man without even using him to fight.
It's true. I essentially accomplished my first goal, forcing Matt to attack with him next, leaving me free to attack with the things on the flanks,
And then leaving me with scraps. Of
and
what
then
I could
not
do.
having to worry about the rest in the middle there.
Yeah, so I think I could have done one of two things. One is I could have taken the first turn and then just built up my wall points so that that first hit would have been more devastating. Because imagine that first hit, but I had +1 attack and +1 wound, army-wide.
Yeah.
Like, blah.
Yeah.
Way more.
That would have made a huge difference for winning. There's a lot of times you roll 2s, right?
Yeah.
It came up a bunch.
Yeah. And also, I think if I was just a little more patient, which is always...
That's super hard with destruction armies.
Yeah, maybe just focus on one flank
Oh, I see.
and kept the rest of my army back. And so that, if you got in some charges, you wouldn't be quite as coherent.
Right, because I had my GOTHIZZAR Harvester nearby, everyone to heal, and I had my characters nearby to support as well.
Right, and the same thing applies to you. If you're the one charging in, we still have to go back and forth.
Exactly.
So by limiting the number of things that go into combat first turn, then I have more control over who gets to fight first. Because if it's 2-on-2, all of a sudden who fights first is a big deal. When it's 10-on-10,
Yeah.
it's not as big a deal who fights first.
Because I think in that first battle round after you charged in, I had more activations in the combat phase there. You had bigger units, but I had more.
I had 4, and you had like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. But my guys just weren't dying, other than the one squad you killed.
Yeah, with the Maw Crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ard Boys did fine. They
Yeah.
did fine.
Yeah.
But, because, what am I supposed to do against a 3-up armor? That's half the time being re-rolled. Or a 2-up save. That, like, what do you do? -1 rend does not get through a 2-up save. Not when you, behind that, have 4 wounds and a 6-up to ignore damage. So yeah, I think that matchup that we did could still work. It might also be scenario. Maybe if we had, like, the wider board scenario rather than the...
Oh, yeah, it kind of forced
makes
us to
it-
fight right away.
Well, yeah, exactly. We play closer, but we're also more concentrated, whereas if we were spread out more, that might work more in my advantage. Maybe? Not sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything that you see between these two armies. Obviously, Petrifax Elite, is one of those armies. Tread lightly. I'd put it on the list of only play it
Upon request.
upon request. So go try, because there's probably some really cool. That's the problem too, is if there's really cool legions, but one of them's just super powerful.
It's hard.
It's hard to enjoy
Especially-
coolness of the other legions when you're like, but I'm just giving up so much power to do this thing.
Especially at home for anyone watching. When you play once every week or two, you're going to want to play the good stuff.
Exactly.
I do not blame you for wanting to play Petrifax
No.
Elite. Whereas I get to play quite a bit, I don't want to play Petrifax Elite a lot. Maybe, like we said, upon request, maybe I wouldn't mind trying a really top tier, like maybe a list with Nagash, Petrifax Elite, try and see how nasty that could be. I think it could be pretty bad.
Well, maybe we'll do a series eventually, which is like a King of the Hill series, where it's meant to just
Like-
no holds barred,
Right.
just beat the crap, and whoever wins,
Build your list and try and win.
and then
As hard as you
whoever
can.
wins just keeps on facing people until he's finally beaten. That way, other people can see exactly what they brought and try to tailor something and just see, can we beat this list? Because we have some of that stuff in the Warhammer 40k as well. There's always 2 or 3 list builds that are the top tier tournament winning list builds until the meta changes,
Right.
and then somebody else becomes that. But there's always something at the time, and I feel like Petrifax Elite Bonereapers have that potential. Now, I don't go to tournaments, so
I don't follow the AOS tournaments that much.
you might
myself
find
either.
that the way that the scenarios work at tournaments punishes certain aspects of an army, and there's just
might,
other combinations that work better. But I have a funny feeling that we're going to see Bonereapers. Well, maybe, I don't know. What do you guys? What do you notice at tournaments? What do you notice in your local stores, in your local clubs? Do you have that Bonereaper player who just won't not play Petrifax Elite with a million
I know someone like
MORTEK
that.
guard? You know somebody like that?
It's Harris. He's come by. a few
Oh, you're
times.
going to even say his name.
Yeah.
You're calling him out on camera.
That's all he plays is Petrifax Elite.
Is that units
Bonereapers.
of 30 MORTEK guards?
He's just like my poor friend Dez and him play against each other, and it's just like he just can't do anything against it. Like Dez just like, oh, turn 1 I die, I charge die, I charge die, I charge die. This is not much of a game. It's,
Not really.
It's crazy. It's
Not
nuts.
really. Okay, well, that's all we got for today. Stay tuned for more Age of Sigmar battle reports. Thanks so much for watching. Happy wargaming.